Hello, everybody. Today I'm speaking with the fantastic George Ayoub. I'm so excited about talking to you today, George. First up, I'll congratulate you for being the recipient of the Inclusion Award in the National Awards for Disability Leadership. So good to see you. I'm just going to explain to everybody what the Inclusion Award is about. This is a really important award to our community and to the people who designed the awards, the community, the sort of group of disabled people that designed the awards. The Inclusion Award is for somebody who is illustrating the intersectional diversity of disabled people by designing processes, systems, or programs. And it's about the many people in our disability community who work intersectionally. So they're working with other marginalised communities. So that's what it's about. It's not about being an inclusive person generally, but about that pulling communities together across spaces. And of course, George has been doing that in our disability community for a very long time. So let me give you a bit of information about the fabulous George. George has made a significant impact in advancing disability rights by founding Solution Ideas Ability Boutique, a disability-led organisation in Western Sydney. Through inclusive employment, community engagement and advocacy, he champions equity and accessibility, ensuring diverse and intersectional disabled voices are represented and empowered in decision-making and local initiatives. Doing all the things, George, all the things. Well, welcome, congratulations on receiving this Inclusion Award. So good to speak.
Thank you so much, Christine. It's a great honour and a privilege to be here with you today. I've been looking forward to the interview and meeting yourself, Christina. It's certainly a pleasure.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I've been working in the disability sector now for about 49 years. I was born in Lebanon. As a young child, I got polio through the vaccination.
Oh, yeah.
And which left me disabled. But it's never stopped me, so they tell me I'm disabled. I don't know that I really am. But, so I've lived my life throughout the years quite involved and active in the disability community. I've been around doing things like I designed wheelchair rugby league, the push and power style, which we designed and worked on from the late 70s, all the way through putting together an association to cater for people with disabilities playing sport. And we had, at one stage, we were transferring every weekend between 100 to 160 participants who had a disability to play sports, and it could have been anywhere in New South Wales. So that's some of the stuff that I started on before I moved into the human rights domain after studying at
Did you do that, George? Why did you get into that rights-based space? What was that about?
I found that a lot of people with disabilities weren't aware of their rights, and they were made to feel like a burden rather than a human. They were given all of these constraints that society puts on people. And that's because people don't have that concept of knowledge. I mean, throughout history, we've all been put away and like embarrassed to talk about, and because it meant that your family was not a good family or some issue but things that just weren't really helpful in helping people with disabilities to achieve.
Yeah. So you've pulled together this organisation, but you've been doing all of this work. What are you working on right now? What's the big thing at the moment?
Currently, we've designed a plus one employment package where we provide supported employment to people with high disability needs. So they might have cognition problems, intellectual problems. There might be various issues that hold them away from the workforce. What we do is we pay them a real live wage. So they're getting the award
Mm,
and they learn on the job skills, and hopefully we can progress them as they go and as they grow into the open market space.
yeah.
So it's a bit more concentrated effort, and it's done by people with disabilities themselves. See, for a person with a disability, we tend to always think ourselves that it needs an able-bodied person. But it's until we sit down and talk to the individual, we find they can relate to a person with a disability similar to theirs
Mm,
much deeper. So it becomes very more liberating for them. At the same time, it becomes empowering because we see each other as peers. And this, for me, is what the message of Solution Ideas is about. And that is bringing people together to just live a life and in a way that they're actively participating in their own lives. They're actually making decisions, choices, all within their own comfort zone. And we provide lots of different services to support their needs.
mm. And you're out in Western Sydney, aren't you? Which is a really multicultural community out that way. So, what do you find, that brings into your work? How does that flavour what you're doing?
Lunchtime. We love
Well, yeah, the
lunchtime.
benefits, yeah.
The flavors of the different cultural diversity, which makes it unbelievable. We have people from various parts of the world who come together to work with each other. So we don't have a situation where it's like, oh, I'm a care worker and I'll tell you what to do. It's like we're equal. We're basically equal. We're both equally working, contributing, and enjoying our lives.
Yeah.
And I think that's the fullness of what we do at Solution is we give people opportunity and people that diversity of services to meet and support their needs
Mm,
rather than us telling them what they want. We like to work with them to tell us what they need so we can help them their way.
fantastic. Have you
So
have you come to has it changed? Is there a better recognition now that people from culturally diverse communities need a particular way of organisations and work happening that is, recognises their cultural um, background, that is actually factoring that in? Is that something that you've noticed changing over time? Is it still something that isn't done very
Look,
well, or what?
I think it's one of these grey areas where you can push one way and become negative or positive. I find that cultural diversity itself has its challenges, but so does having a disability. So we can relate to each other's diversity. The problem is when people looking in and it sees the demands, the other kind of issues that hinder people's ability to make good decisions and get the right supports and helps. And I think that's it's still we need to still definitely work on it. We
Mm.
really need to do a lot more work in bringing people together. I think the whole concept for us of inclusion is that we should be all able to do what each other can do if we desire it. Like I might not want to go mountain climbing, but I might like a drive up to the mountains. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah, yeah,
we all can work within our capacity. So
yeah.
yeah,
Mm. Yeah, thanks for that. Do you think, receiving an award like this will make a difference to your work? How do you think it might, or if it does, what sort of impact will it have?
I think it will impact as myself. I do so much work. I sometimes forget about me. So sometimes when I get these awards, and this is the first one I've got from this area of the fifth world, um, I feel like I'm on the right track, and I just need to keep pushing, pushing. It did slow me up there as a CEO.
Mm.
You spend your time making decisions and helping people, but it does get lonely. But when you get acknowledged, it kind of rejuvenates that enthusiasm to keep going and
Yeah.
keep striving to achieve and make things better. So we're constantly evaluating, reviewing, discussing, and it's it's been a wonderful journey. It's been a really wonderful journey, and I think we can go further. I think we can really start causing people to question this concept that somebody with a lived experience is an expert in their own life.
I
And
think it's something I really, in some ways, I love it about the disability community and working in this space is it is constantly shifting. You know, we we have new ways of looking at things, and even down to the language that we use, the way we view ourselves, the way we insist on certain things, the expectation, and all of these things is this kind of constant moving feast. Do you notice that? Is that something that I mean, I find that remarkably invigorating, and but it's also hard work, and I really identify with how you say, being a CEO can get a bit lonely at times. You kind of there's a lot of responsibility that many of us have in our community, that particularly those of us who've been around a while, to, people look to us and they expect us to behave a certain way and to be able to do certain things and to be able to achieve certain things. George can do that. He's really good at those things. He'll make it happen. So that pressure, is that something that you observe, is that constant change and
Uh,
swirling and the expectation that you'll just be able to do whatever's needed?
yeah, a lot of people put a lot of trust in you, and in a shifting NDIS climate in particular, we got to say that the parameters are changing every day. So we have, yeah, you have to sort of stay on top and, just keeping informed. You spend a lot of time interacting with peers and colleagues, and it helps. It really does help.
Mm.
But like an experience we've had in our company was last year when I designed the rollout for our employment program. The actual um, the the government, I didn't realize were in the process, but the NDIS was changing the structure of their employment service. So when I ended up looking at their changes and looked at our plan, they just fell into each other. That was like a perfect design. It fitted so well. So it was like, wow, we are actually using our minds and our perceptions and knowledge. We've got, we've done a calculation between four of us in this office. We got close to 300, just over 300 years of experience in the disability sector. That's just with only four. So, to bring the others on board, and the numbers going to be much higher.
Mm.
And these are people, just ordinary people with ordinary lives, doing their best to move forward with their life.
It's
And
astounding, isn't it? Ah, it's amazing. What's 2026 going to look like for George Ayoub?
I'm tired. And how's it
Yeah,
look
you,
like?
you need a break over Chrissy, but what will next year look like?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be huge. We've got so much happening out there. We want to grow our employment supports. We're looking at opening another location in the Bankstown region. Currently, we're in Penrith, so we're hoping to put an office in Bankstown. We're also looking at expanding uh, further down the track. We're also are doing a lot more work in training and developing. We like to impart our knowledge, our skill set to the broader community. So we offer a lot of free services through our organization. We have regular cafes where we sit, get a free cup of coffee, and have conversations about the things that really impact people's lives. How do they navigate the NDIS? How do they organize themselves to live a full life? How to achieve goals and dreams, how to set them. So there's next year's going to be really hectic, and we're really looking forward to it. I know I am. I think this award itself has given me even greater determination to fulfill my commitment and to ensure the growth and the development of the individuals.
Ah,
So yeah.
that's lovely, isn't it? And we're just about out of time, George. Something I really like to ask people, just to put you on the spot, is who is a leader that you admire and why?
uh, I I know a lot of different leaders, but I loved Stella Young. I thought Stella was like what I'm trying to achieve, and that is she's outspoken, she's knowledgeable, she's really calm. That's the bit I've got to try and achieve, the
Yeah,
calm.
that's a tough one, isn't it?
But she was a great role model for people with disabilities as a leader. And she was a great leader because nothing sort of got in her way. Even the disability side of things didn't even challenge her because you know, it's easy to get around a step, just go up the ramp. Yeah, or put
As
us
long as the
through.
ramp's there, of course.
Of course. Well, I mean, I don't know how many times I've had to bodgy my way to get up a step. So we've got a piece of wood and sort of made it whatever. So it's really those things what life's about is facing adversity, but taking it on. Don't be scared and don't be shy. And there's
Yes,
people out there. So
no.
yeah.
Oh, always wonderful to remember Stella. Absolutely. It's not so wonderful to remember the horrible ramps that I think we've probably all encountered over the years.
Oh no, no. Yeah. Every council's different.
Yeah. And will you fit on it or not? Oh my goodness. Anyway, oh, George Ayoub, it's been an utter pleasure to speak to you today. I want to congratulate you again on receiving the Inclusion Award in the 2025 National Awards for Disability Leadership. It's a marvellous thing to be able to speak to you. Thank you, George.
Thank you so much, Christine.